Welcome everyone to the Fearless Fridays podcast. I am your host, Mykeya Latia, and today we'll be unlocking some of the history behind BasBlue's, and we're going to find out about the women behind the blue stocking. With me today, I have one of our co-founders, Natacha Hildebrand, and she's going to be giving us some insight on her journey, but also why you should become a member of BasBlue's. Welcome, Natasha.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Your energy has just been amazing since you walked in the doors.
I think it's because of your outfit. You're just giving, for those of you that can't see, it's like the most amazing pink green and yes, so loving it.
Thank you so much. So first off, you wear so many hats. Like, I was reading up on you. I'm like, goodness, this woman, she does so much, and you do so much just within, building women businesses. But from the beginning, what was one of the most important hats that you put on, and why was that so important to you?
It's interesting. I think the first hat really, and it took me a second to think back on this, is when I was in 11th grade. I, in addition to being a bread girl at a local retail store, because that's, we all do our things, I started a tutoring program for young kids at our local elementary schools. And I realized early days that I really just wanted to help people, even at, what are you, 16 or 17, I guess. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of the first hat that I wore and realized how much impact and how much you can get, you being, me, out of helping others. And also kind of facilitating opportunities where multiple people can help multiple people at once, and what that looks like.
That's so good. So I'll always be curious too, because some people, it takes time to become a leader. Sometimes you are born with that in your DNA, but sometimes, you go through life experiences. Do you feel like that's something that's always been in your DNA, or did life kind of shape you into leadership?
Well, I'm definitely type A, so I know not L.
Like, I came out the womb.
Yeah, I'm and a Leo. So between the two, I think, there was a little bit of that in my blood. But I do think leaders are both born and bred. And I think that, like anything in life, you as a leader, you can have those raw skills, but we all need kind of guidance, maintenance, sharpening up. I'm not sure if we go to a doctor or we go to school or anything like that. I actually just hired over the break, I guess I say that I'm in high school still. But over the holidays, I hired a career leadership coach because I realized I wanted to tune up and I wanted to make sure that I was showing up as the leader. I always, I hope that this leads me, but also that I want to be in the world. So I think I do love to start programs to kind of help direct the traffic and also bring people together and cultivate around a vision. But I also think that leadership is bred, and you need, I know I need tune-ups, and I know as a leader I need somebody else to also help me be accountable to myself. So I think it's constant, and we're never done learning being a leader. So
that is so good. You're still a student at your craft.
For the rest of my life, I will always be that.
Yeah, that's so good. A lot of times people, they feel like they've reached a certain peak, and I know all that I need to know. I don't need to go learn anything else. But you're like, no, I still need you to hold me accountable. No, seriously, you're wrong.
Yeah.
No, I think that's amazing. I need to be held accountable. There's still work to be done, and I'm open to continuing to grow. This isn't, the sky is the limit.
Well, and I think that's the power a little bit too when you think of community, and I think you think of especially our space, BasBlue's. It is being in spaces and places that help you grow to be a better leader, but also help you be accountable, to hold up mirrors to you, to have those conversations, sometimes easy, sometimes not, through, in our case, the programs or the people you meet, or even sometimes wonderfully so the team, to have those conversations of how can I be a better, more impactful leader person, whether you're leading a team or leading your own life, frankly.
Right.
And how does that show up for you?
Yeah. And you know what? So let's dive into BasBlue's a little bit more. Tell me first off, the blue stocking. Let's talk about the meaning behind it. What is the blue stocking?
Yeah, so BasBlue's is the French word. And so basically it was, and I'm going to probably get this wrong, but I think it was around the turn of the century. There were a bunch, at the time, most women did not hold senior leadership positions, unfortunately. And so a lot of these individuals had spouses that would go into parliament, that would go into work, that would go into these different places and make a lot of decisions that were kind of affecting and impacting the world around them. Well, these women were like, well, that's not cool.
Right.
We want to essentially help make decisions and come together. We are well-read. We are, have great literary backgrounds and whatnot. So they started a society amongst themselves, and it was women that were wearing the blue stockings, which were generally considered people that were working individuals, people of the kind of non-proletariat class. We were white stockings, so there was a bit of like a kind of a quiet middle finger to them, and these societies started and end up inviting men as well. But it was really about kind of these literary individuals coming together to kind of talk about the day and the politics. And over time, it became these women often that were then kind of feeding back information to their partners to help kind of wield different, shouldn't say power, but decisions that were well informed by a much more kind of diverse class of people versus just the people that were making just guys essentially at the helm.
That's so good. Like the little nudges, like, hey, I think we should do it this way. And
right,
like,
exactly. Like
from?
Subtle, maybe probably sometimes not so subtle.
Right.
Like we should do it this way. Like, so.
That is so good. You know what I love? In a sense, that's to me like the evolution of like women, becoming more empowered, really taking hold of like their gifts, their talents, not being in the background. I know like the
100%.
American dream, the wife stays at home and the husband goes out, and does the work. Cool. Yeah. But then there are women who are like, no, I want to work too.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? You say you're alpha type A, like I even have that in me. Like I was talking to my boyfriend too, like, do you want to be a stay-at-home wife? I was like, I don't think I can be. I said, maybe more part-time. That'd be cool. Like part-time work, that'd be fine. But like there are women who just want to go out and dive. And that's what I love BasBlue. Like there's an opportunity to work, but also to network, but also to have fun.
Like we're all the sum of many parts, right?
Yeah.
Like I think as individuals and even more so as women, I think there's many facets of our own face. And I think that BasBlue, what's really fascinating, what I love and what we designed it as is that you can be whatever it is that you want to be, but we want to help you get there.
Yeah.
So if that's through personal, if you want to have 49,000 children, which would be like really tiring, but if you want to do that and that's your path and you want to be involved in nonprofit work, if you want to go be an entrepreneur and start your own business, if you want to go scale a corporate ladder and figure out how am I going to play that game and become a C-suite executive one day, there are all those journeys and all of those, opportunities that exist. And we want to help foster whatever that is to make you your best self and whatever you want at the end of the day.
Wow, that's so good. Tell me some of the programs that help navigate women to achieving these different facets.
Yeah, so we have a couple different programs. So we have something called 0 to 1. It is probably our tentpole entrepreneurial program. So what we do is we work with different folks in the community and support, and this cohort is 10 women, which is super exciting, where we supply them with business coaches, with capital, and with a curriculum over the course of the next 6 months to help them start a business, to take it from 0 to 1. So what does a website look like? How do I even register for my company? Should I be an S Corp or a C Corp? What is marketing? How much media should I be spending? What type of capital should I be taking on? Is it a loan or should I raise money from angel investors or just bootstrap the heck out of it? How do I manage a P&L? How do I build a team? How am I a leader? Kind of working through a lot of these questions. So they are equipped to kind of go to this next stage of business of hopefully 1 to 2.
Yeah.
But we really want to hold their hand and take them from that 0 to 1 and bring them to that kind of first level. We also have something called Founders and Funders. These are some of our entrepreneurial programs. Think like I was watching Shark Tank last night. It's like a much nicer version of Shark Tank.
Okay.
We've got amazing angel investors and different partners from across the city in Detroit. And then we invite a cohort of entrepreneurs that are probably a little bit further along than from that 0 to 1, that have a business that's up and running, and they can pitch for funding, grant funding for their businesses. So businesses range from consumer packaged goods to services, to we've got a woman that creates these incredible bras. So it's really across the gamut. But again, it's giving them that guidance of how do you pitch to a room of potential investors or partners? What is your story? How do you make it concise, tight, and deliver the message of what the thing is so you can go and take your business to the next stage and grow it? Wow. And then we do like super fun things like Galentine's Day, because networking is really important, and it's your group of your people, both from a professional standpoint and a personal standpoint. It does take a village. So we want to provide a village. And so that's Galentine's Day. That is just information sessions on menopause. That's information sessions and education around my financial 101. I don't think I knew how to manage a credit card until 5 years ago. It's like, how do we equip people with and members and the community with skills that you might not get otherwise, or that you're curious about, or that you want to grow into. But really, it's the full kind of, again, personal to professional to everything in between.
And you know, first off, like, these are obviously things that I knew, but just hearing you just go into detail, it just felt so good, because I'm a true advocate of BasBlue. Like, I love it here, literally. And like, I love how you touched on every aspect, whether you are the professional career woman, whether you are the stay-at-home mom, and you like, hey, I just need to get away. Like, I need to go to Galentine's.
A third space.
Literally. Like, and one thing I love about BasBlue is you all accommodate for every entity, but even when it comes to celebrating, like, you guys can celebrate. Like, Galentine's was so fun.
Work hard, play hard, you know? And I think that you cannot be, you know, a core tenet of our foundation is empowering individuals and kind of creating that balance and creating kind of that economic stability. But you can't even get to that point unless you have some of the play. Like, you need both. Like, as a full human in the world, you have to have both things at the table.
And you know what, too, when it comes back to like the programming, I truly admired it. So I was able to even witness some of the women who came out of the first cohort, and it was just so inspiring. It was so inspiring to just see their different levels, to see what they were able to take from the 0 to 1. I always call it 0 to 100 in my head. Like, I'm always
I love that. Yeah, that's the next program we're gonna do. Yeah.
And I think that's so amazing, because you come here, first you get a tour. The house is amazing, right? And then you learn, oh wait, I can build my business. Oh wait, there's funding available. Oh, there's mentorship. Like, these are things and great food. And vegan food too. Like, I'm transitioning, so.
and we have a gym downstairs.
Yes.
And we've got fitness classes,
yoga,
you know, and all these other little tidbits coming. So it's really about kind of servicing everyone. And the other thing, this is one of my favorite things that we don't talk about as much anymore, is that we design the space with women in mind. So thinking about the temperature, typically, like, a lot of spaces are a little bit cooler. I'm overgeneralizing a lot of things right now, but women prefer a certain, like, normally around 71, 72. We try to make it warmer. The table height of tables, you know, the seat height, so that your feet are actually on the ground versus like you're, you know, like a little kid. All of these things were super intentional when we designed the space to make sure that it was inviting, comfortable, and it felt like your best friend's home.
Yeah, even the colors.
Even the colors, even while getting all the other stuff you just said.
Yes. You know, I love that. You know what? So I have to say this, because I just found out that BasBlue has been around for 2 years now. Well, you would have thought the way you all run it, the way that the vision has come.
It's all the team.
I'm telling you.
It's the team.
I'm like,
so
2
lucky.
years?
We are so lucky with the team. We've got
so
such
blessed.
a badass group of people here that really make this, you know, and community starts, you know, at the base, right? Which is our team. And so they exude it and promote it and live it. And we are, you know, we would not be able to have this space without them.
Yes, you are so right. The women here are so friendly. They get to know your name. That's number one. So you walk in, you barely, oh, you're checked in. I got you. And like, they're just so personable. Like, and I love the relationship building within the women in the community. It's not just pulling from the outside. It's like, no, who here can help us with X, Y, and Z? Like, we're doing this podcast together. Like, being in this space it provides so many opportunities. So I want to just thank you for that.
No, thank you for being a part of this community.
Collaboration, like, it's so amazing.
Everything.
Everything. It is. And so we talked about you all, like, I'm going to say you've been here for 20 plus years. You have to. So where do you see the next 5 to 10 years for BasBlue?
So just general world domination is on the docket. No, I'm kidding. I know. You know, I think Nancy, my partner in this, like, always says I say this too much, but I really do believe it, which is a rising tide lifts all boats. And this, to me, BasBlue is the first boat that we're building, that we've built, you know, and I want to create more boats, you know, and I think, what does that look like? What does that look like in terms of Detroit? What does that look like in terms of Southeast Michigan? What does that look like in terms of Michigan? What does that look like in terms of the Midwest? You know, kind of these concentric circles. Like, how can we continue to really grow our impact year over year, make sure that we can deliver, you know, sustainably and in a way that we feel is actually really driving quality and giving individuals that are part of our membership, a part of our programs, a part of the community, real skills and tools tools to kind of take into their life and just live fuller, live better.
Right.
So 5 to 10 years, I'd love us to think about what is our digital impact. Can we build programs around that? I'd love for us to think about kind of franchise models in the right places at the right time. But really it starts here and just impacting as many people as we possibly can with all of those different, tools and resources. So we can all just hopefully live a little bit better.
Yeah. Hey, I love it. I love the franchise model. Maybe
put
one in LA. We'll talk. I love it. Now, one few more things before I let you go. Yeah. So with all of these amazing, I don't want to say ideas because they're definitely coming to fruition. But it starts with an idea. So I'll say that. So with all these great concepts and that you will be, bringing to fruition, tell me what is the importance of like the donors that has already contributed, but even like more people to get involved before, it's too late.
Feel free to get involved. Yes, please join us on this journey. We would not be here without our donors and our partners. I mean, BasBlue is almost entirely subsidized and funded by the BasBlue Foundation, which is supported by our donors. We are incredibly lucky that we have had amazing partners come on board, giving us not just the capital and funding to obviously run the space and run the programs and fund the membership, but also giving us their brain space and their brain power. We have a killer board of directors, and beyond that, just our donors in general are so and have been and continue to be so eager to support us and help us kind of drive impact, be super strategic about where are we investing our time, where are we investing our resources, what is going to be the highest return on impact, if you will, and what does that look like? And so as we continue to grow with our very big ambitions, like I just shared, we are definitely, always looking to bring on more funders and more partners that are obviously mission aligned. They have to want to and believe in what we're trying to do, which is, again, drive kind of economic empowerment and access and opportunity for this community. And as long as they're there, we'd love to have them join and kind of come on board. And I think eventually build more programs. Now we're we got our hands full, super stoked. I think the team is constantly we got the programs, Tosh. Let's wait a second. But I think, again, the world truly is the sky is the limit. I always mess those up. The world is the limit.
Is there a limit?
Is there a limit? Exactly. Let's remove limit. I like that. Bye.
Just shoot for the stars. Keep going.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And we want partners that are going to work with us to collaborate to get there.
Right.
And again, we would not be here without that. And without that support.
I love that you said mission aligned. That's so important.
Yes.
You have to be, you have to see the vision, add to it, and be, morally, in place for the vision to really come together. So
absolutely.
That's important. I love that. And I have to say too, the programs are phenomenal. Literally, I was getting the emails oh my God, we're gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Oh, I'm waking up 8 o'clock in the morning. Let's go.
I love it. I love
entrepreneurship. I love it. So I have 2 questions before I let you go. For one, what makes you so fearless?
What makes me so fearless? I have ultimate belief in kind of myself, but in the ability to then kind of bring people on the journey and to know that okay, if we can think it, we can do it. And I just know that at the end of the day, I'm not the only one. But I know that it takes people, come on board, let's go, get on my thing, let's go. But I have I just know that we can do anything together.
Yes.
And that I have belief in that. And it just takes one person to have a spark of an idea. And then it's okay, let's go. Let's go. And I just have ultimate belief that we can do it. I just know it. We might not always see the way there. We might not always know the answer, but I mean, you can do anything, I think as long as you put your mind to it and you have the right people locking arms with you at the end of the day.
Absolutely. The power of belief.
The power of belief. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And togetherness. I
think for sure.
The alchemy of what happens when people come together that are mission aligned. It's you, again, having that singular vision and then okay, who's coming on board?
Right. And we're just have this huge, just ball of creativity. Yeah. That's how my mind goes.
Yeah.
Give me one idea. I'm here, I'm there. And then my mom always says, you have champagne taste on a beer budget. And I always make it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it always works.
There's some adage, I forgot, somebody Socrates, but not him, said this.
Okay. I heard a little philosophy in your in you too.
Yeah, there's and I'm totally butchered who said this, but our dreams should always just our dreams should always be just beyond our reach or beyond our grasp. And I just think that's such a such a powerful,
attainable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And it's okay, but just beyond our grasp. You're always just reaching a little bit further.
And putting that work in is that reach.
Yes.
Because if it was here, it's here.
Yes.
But if I have to go reach, I have to go seek for it. I have to go put in more work. I have to believe that I can even put myself in that position to grab a hold of
100%.
it.
And that's the journey and the personal work you need to do, and that's what makes you better.
Yeah, girl, we will be talking all day. All right, I'm excited. I love it. Right, we have to end it. But okay, I have one last question. What do you want BasBlue to be remembered by?
Ooh, great question. The really silly answer is that we provided a human hug to the community.
Okay.
And I think probably the real answer is that we made some impact. We changed some people's lives. We really were able to help some people, achieve their dreams and get after what they want to get after, and just made it able to lift them up. And so I think if we can do that even with a small group of people, and I think to a degree we've started to, which makes me really happy, then I think we've done our job. And I just want us to be known for just bringing good into the world.
Yes. And you all do just that. I'm a testament. Well, I just want to thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This has been amazing. I could talk to you all day.
Yeah, we'll have to get coffee or something.
Yes, 100%. And
yes.
This is just awesome. And I love what you're doing and the stories
you.
you're sharing. And so thank you for letting us share ours.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. And I'm your host, Mykeya Latia. And we'll see you next time for another Fearless Friday episode.